Alrighty, we're live. Back to some good old Hoven whacking after the quite fun yet mildly annoying stream we had regarding old commercials. Um, Annoying because of two things. One, some idiot commenting who doesn't understand what the reason for preamble or anything else for that matter, who should have just kept their opinion to themselves. That's been posted as a what do you call them? Well, community post. Yeah, sorry, it's like it's been posted as a post uh, for you to check out. Um, might do a little deep dive into that down the line as I do some unhinged, stupid comments that I get regularly. And second, I should also add again that the person didn't comprehend what the preamble is for. You tend to have a build up before a live stream so that an audience can come in. Although I'm working on some videos to play ahead of time, so that'll cut down on me just having to ramble. The second thing about that stream, though, is that if you weren't here for the live stream that I did the other day, that was an ephemeral one. It came and went. You didn't catch this because I looked it up live since that stream was planned to be deleted anyway. Uh, Turns out I got a copyright claim on the commercial stream, and it was for some song titled "How to Get Ahead in Business" or whatever. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. Must have been some stock music used in a commercial. Let me check this out. And it came up during the Ball Buster game commercial from the 70s, about an hour and 36 minutes in, off and on. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? And we look into it and we see that the group in question has decided to just upload the audio of that commercial, since obviously, ooh, it's an attention getter. We post that on the internet, people will look and be like, oh wow, that's funny that they called something that 50 years ago. um yeah, they decided to put the audio of the commercial up, claim it as some song, and just straight up copyright claim that crap so they get all the ad revenue. I guess they think nobody's gonna fight it. I put in the request this or the fair use claim this morning on the grounds that one, they don't own that content at all. They literally just took a commercial's audio and uploaded it. And two, even if they did own the audio, own the rights, it would still be fair use because I'm commenting over the commercial. So we'll see where that goes. Uh, there's a non-zero chance this could become an issue, and if my crazy ass, actually pushing stuff through like this is what it takes, then so be it. Doubt it'll get that far. Don't know how I'd handle it if it did, but yeah, that's where we stand. Um, because I'm tired of, I'm absolutely sick of, copyright trolls like that. But otherwise, yeah, on to the point. Since now we're now 3 minutes 20 seconds in. Yeah, Hovind decided to do a whack an atheist yesterday. Apparently as a direct result of Simon Dan doing another video on Hovind, where he addressed Hovind's whack an atheist on Carl Sagan, which I have a direct connection to. And yes, I'm going to brag about this because, damn it, I take it as a sense of pride that I helped out the greater community of these debunkers and repliers and the comedy of it all. Because Dan's a funny guy, and his snark and a certain cynicism, that typical British wit was exuding in that video. Um, Dan had popped up in my Discord and was asking, "Hey, where's Kent been uploading stuff?" And I linked him to the Rumble, and he's like, "Ooh, Carl Sagan can't be having that," and exact verbiage he used in the video later. And I take it as I take pride in my contribution to ensure that Dan knew where to go to get something fresh from Hovind, found something to react to, and gave it a damn good show. So, I'm just gonna smile about that. It's just a funny thought how the circle of content goes. But yeah, we're going to look at Kent's video. It's apparently pretty damn wild. I haven't watched a single second of it yet. It's 50 minutes, so we're going to be here a while. I also have not looked at the chat box yet. I've just been sitting here mostly eyes closed, just talking to you guys. Um, so yeah, we're 5 minutes in. Preamble's over. Let me click the share buttons and get to it. Actually, hang on. Do y'all want to see that stupid comment real quick? Let me see how everyone's doing. S'mores Pop Tarts, hello. Zoomer Tomato, hey there, girl. Laura. I got Zach, what's up, bruh? Hope it's not another DVD 5 Redux. Seriously, I am in no mood for another DVD 5 Redux. And then everything is DVD 5 with Hovind, pretty much. But let me go to studio.youtube.com for just a moment. And remind people of how you're not supposed to comment on a video. Let me click down here to comments. I haven't responded. There we go. Zoom in on old man mode a bit. And yeah. On time for once. Yes, you are, LET. And Zoomy says, let's see it. So yeah. You don't like preamble? Tough. Go to about 10 minutes in the video. You know, it's not hard for somebody to just scroll and eventually get to the content they want to see if the preamble's so bad. But here we go. Here we go. We got this ass clown, Mark Lombard, who has one video of them walking around the street after 8 o'clock because a curfew in Quebec was lifted. Whoop-de-dee. Your presentation sucks, especially that annoying fake laugh. You spend too many minutes prefacing, and then not even 5 seconds in the video, you're interrupt to eat stupid. I love that. I didn't notice this till just earlier. Soot Kettle's just like boo hoo. And I'm like, watch out, we got a dumbass over here. Presentation sucks. Well, that's your opinion. You don't like it, don't fucking watch it, dumbass. Obviously, a bunch of other people love my style. Annoying fake laugh. It's not fake. I have would it be a theatrical laugh that I use for this? But you guys have also heard something tickle me in just the right way, and I just roll with it, which actually I think happened quite a bit in this stream. So if he thinks that's a fake laugh, he must clearly be some kind of pathetically built android who doesn't have any comprehension on emotions. Spend way too many minutes prefacing. Gotta have the preamble, buddy. Gotta give people time to get to the show. You don't just start the movie right at time. You have you have the trailers. Then you had until Star Wars, you had the opening credits so people could get in there, and then you got to it. 5 6 in video, you interrupt just to be stupid, or excuse me, to be stupid. Well, these are comedy streams, dumbass. And 5 seconds in the video, you know, there's a style of reaction stuff. There's multiple styles to it, I should say. Some go a little more in depth, some let things play. I'm a little bit more of the in depth reaction, and I like to build slight suspense. If you just wanted to watch the videos on your own accord, I mention the ones we're watching as the stream goes by. So again, if you don't like it, just watch them your own goddamn self or watch someone else react. There's 1,000 other people who've done this shit. You don't need to comment. No one fucking cares. So whatever. Dude's a total chode munch. Fucking laughably pathetic. I laugh very fake in his direction. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. There. I don't know. Fuck. Alright, here's Kent motherfucking dumbass Hovind. Had a Pastor Meister stream earlier, but here we go. Like an atheist, shy man Dan. Is it?
Good evening, folks. Kent Hovind here.
Oh, hang on. I gotta stop. Not 5 seconds in.
And the crew at Dinosaur Adventure.
Oh, and I gotta stop again. Not 5 seconds in. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. Otaku just took some sleeping pills for a nap. Damn, bro. Wink at the end of Ballbuster was pretty good indication. They knew it was a double entendre. Good stuff. Love the preamble. Thank you. What's a Mimnute? Good point. Yeah, that's what they had put too. Minmoot. You also stop the video every once in a while so it's transformative. Exactly. I think that should go without question. But I've been watching a few people who cover SovSit stuff, and it's literally just the occasional stop and talk with mostly just the court video or the police cam footage going, and it's like that's not reaction. Gonna pretend to be upset your preamble lasted this long. I can make it longer. And you can thank Deviant for this stream. She's one of the key ones, her and Soot. I literally at lunch, I was telling my friends, great, I got people in Sweden demanding I stream this afternoon, so I guess I'm doing it. Still stopping Kent's video less than he stops other people's videos. Yeah, seriously, if this guy knew my other content. But, all right, let's do this for real.
Landing, lovely. Lenox, Alabama. Beautiful out there today. It is May the 13th, 2025. Tonight, Whack an Atheist Wednesday. Simon Dan, it's got to be the 40th time. He's a slow learner, brother. He watched the show that I did on Carl Sagan, and he's upset about it. So we're going to whack Dan for whacking me for whacking Carl Sagan. Okay, anyway, we're on a bunch of channels. We're on Facebook, on Rumble, on Twitter.
Let's remind you, this is like the day of or the day after. Kent went after this one quick. He's fucking butthurt.
X, whatever that is. Why don't you sign up for all of them? When they take us off of one, you can always pick us up on another one. Or better yet, get our app, kenthoven.tv. You can get it, look at all these places. And then we can't get kicked off. Because they seem to not like the truth. Somebody out there can't handle the truth. What was that? Few Good Men or something? Yeah, okay. Here we are. May.
Remind you, Kent, that was the bad guy saying that.
The 2nd, or May 13th. It's supposed to be Psalms, but you'll see why in a minute, why we're going to have another Whack an Atheist on Tuesday this time. Okay, so sorry about that. If you want to come join us up at Noah's Ark, Ken Ham's Noah's Ark in Kentucky, that's going to be, July the 6th, Sunday. We'll be up there to counter the atheist rally. Is that rallying when you're promoting atheism? It's got to have
It's a protest. And yeah, one can define that as a rally as well. And yeah, Grunwaldy, to be fair, yeah, that stuff would be considered public domain. But I mean, sometimes there becomes a problem when it's uploaded, when it's sourced from, okay, Code Blue Cam is an example. They get a lot of police footage and are a distributor of it, so to speak. They claim virtually anyone who reacts to their videos, even though the original video is public. I'm not sure on the legalities of that. I find it kind of scummy, but at the same rate, they are the ones who initially request the footage. So I know they want to be, to be like, hey, we did the work to get this footage, but I don't know. Watched his damn video yesterday. Weird, since I don't usually see his new videos. Exchange still the worst. Facebook is no longer Facebook, Kent. It is now Meta. Facebook is a service of Meta, as is Instagram. It's like, if I may go on a small diatribe, when people speak of Walmart, when they see all this stuff in the news about Walmart, it's actually the holding corporation that is all of the products they own. It's not the individual stores. It's them, Sam's Club, and every other goddamn thing they've got. You have to look at what's actually being looked at, because corporate ownership is a crazy nested hierarchy of things. Hey, it almost looks like Created Kinds.
Another name for it. Riot, maybe. Okay. So come join us up there. Let's see. Here's Lexington, Cincinnati, Louisville. There's Ark Encounter.
Yeah, it's not a riot, Kent. January 6th was a riot. Of course, I also consider it treason, but apparently, storming the U.S. Capitol is perfectly acceptable.
Come on up. Come help us finish our ark. We're about one half done with the model we're building, which is 1/3 the scale of Noah's Ark. So we need a bunch of carpenters. Come on down here.
Hey, Soot, you're a slight bit behind. You got mentioned earlier with that clown who commented on my video earlier, my stream from the other night. He left the boo-hoo, and yeah, he's a clod.
Spend a couple days, we will put you to work. Neil, how many carpenters could you keep busy down there? A bunch. Yeah, get a whole team down here, whack it out in one day. Okay.
Whoa, whack it out. Okay, Kent. Get a whole team down here and whack it out in one day. I mean, if it takes you that long, whatever. I mean, Sandra's been gone a while, so I don't know. I'm just saying. That's pretty fucking weird language, man.
So now that Trump is cleaning house, I'd like everybody to get a hold of my February 1st show that I did on all my different channels. Get the open letter to Donald Trump and share that with everybody you know who's in a political office. It doesn't have to be from Florida where it took place. It was a federal case. Okay, watch that and please let it just. And they've still got some people in Simon Dan's comments calling me a tax protester.
You are a tax protester.
Watch the show, guys.
I did. You're a tax protester. You said a whole lot of nothing during that.
I'm not a tax. Our country was started by tax protesters. Maybe that's it. His show's in England. They're still upset about that. What was that you said?
Wow, how juvenile can you get?
Stephen? Oh, they didn't even come to our tea party. Yeah. That was classic. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Help us stay open for free. Join our 777 club. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1 or 2, and somebody will answer. So I want to help you guys. If you can, give $1 a day to keep our ministry going. That's what we rely on, is people who love the Lord helping us do that. Our website, drdino.com, open for 9 years now because people love it. Okay. Whack an Atheist Wednesday. Fun game we play at DAL every Wednesday, only this time it's Tuesday. I might do it again tomorrow if I can't get through all this, based on the Whack-A-Mole game, which I only play.
Femboy Adventureland. I'm sure someone out there, I was about to say I'm sure someone out there would love that, and I'm like, please. Half the people I know would probably be all over that. Take over DAL and turn it into a LGBTQ sanctuary. That'd be awesome. Here you go. Have fun. I, for one, love rainbow flags, so I don't know what the problem is.
Played one time. So here we go. Tonight, Simon Dan. I got the name right. The mole sticks his head up, and you whack him back down as quick as you can. It's a fast game, fun. Kids love it. Adults love it. I enjoyed it the one time I did it. I'm not going to do it again, though. Okay. Whack an atheist. We wait for an atheist to stick his head up, say something dumb, and we whack him back down with real science and Christian love, of course. Okay. A few of them learn to keep their head down. Some you got to whack over and over. Dan has not figured it out yet. Okay. When I taught high school, some students, you had to teach them over and over again. You got to tell them, oh, they just don't get it. They're not paying attention. Dan, pay attention. So many atheists, so many little time. Who gets whacked first? The winner tonight, Simon Dan. Now, Dan, first, I want to thank you. You make my Whack an Atheist show so easy. It's like a day off for me. I need that once in a while. Lots of your viewers get a dose of real science when you show my content on your channel. Thank you, Dan. Okay, and thank you. Please.
The ego on this moron.
Repost my comments you deleted. I was up at 3 o'clock getting ready for my Psalm 107 sermon, and your show came up on, I guess somebody subscribed me to it or something, and then popped up, and I said, oh, let me watch it for a minute. I said,
somebody subscribed me to it. Just let that stand for itself.
Here, Dan, mad at me again. Dan, I'm your best friend. Okay, I'm trying to help you. Here we go. So I watched some of the show, and I posted a comment about an hour after the show. Apparently, he posted the show. Let's see, here it is. There were, at the time, 1 hour after he had posted his show, he already had 5,000 views, and about 286 comments when I posted my comment. And it disappeared. I looked at it shortly, 15 hours ago, and he had 61,000 views. This was maybe 30 minutes ago at the house. I quickly went through all 2,225 comments to see, where's mine? It's gone. So here it is, in case you missed it, Dan. I thought I'd share it with everybody, and you can all share it with Dan, okay? Please. Joseph, you got a way they can copy this? And
the claims of conspiracy. I love it.
I put it on the screen. They can pause it.
Pause it? Okay. Where they can pause? I put mine bigger.
Yes, pause it and then retype this entire thing into the YouTube comments. Yes.
Font here. Okay. Dan, you make my job so easy. Thanks. I'll have to do another Whack an Atheist on this show on all my channels listed on drdino.com. Keep in mind, this is 3 a.m. for me. I'm really not trying to embarrass you nor your religion.
See, so you and Deviant have just y'all are making this into I don't know what's to come. Should I brace myself? Should I take my medication ahead of time? I need to know. Because it seems like something amazing is going to happen. But I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I almost want it spoiled for me, but I don't. Just let me know how long it is before things get crazy. Give me like a rough timestamp so I know when to buckle up.
Evolution religion, Dan. I'm trying to wake you up. You have chosen to believe in the dumbest and most dangerous religion in the world. And I'm trying to get you and your followers to see that before it's too late and they face the Creator. I'd suggest you stick with flat earthers where we can agree. They need to be whacked, Dan, okay? Keep an eye on drdino.com for your next science lesson. I was up at 3:30 in the morning preparing for my show on Psalm 104 when your show popped up on my screen. I may even postpone Psalm 107 and whack you tonight at 7 p.m. You are welcome and encouraged to call in and join me if you want to try to defend your silly religion. So make sure we can have that tonight, can't we? Can we come call in? Okay. Better yet, come visit Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, and take the real tour of the Science Center and our scale model of Noah's Ark, and take the safari tour with me in one of our Jeeps and learn about God's amazing creation. It's all free, Dan. We will feed you, provide a cabin, and help rescue you from the terrible brainwashing you went through to become convinced.
Travel to the States isn't free, Kent. That'd be nice if international travel didn't cost anything, but it does. Resources, materials, machines, money's got to come from somewhere. I propose global taxation systems that help fund a lot of stuff for the public good around the world. But, you know, you'd be against that because it helps people.
You are related to a banana.
And yes, I have no idea how the hell we'd make that work. It's just a hypothetical. Think Star Trek. You know what I mean?
And came from an amoeba. Bring your family and friends and even a support group if you need one. We can have a live debate on my show or your show or a neutral show. Cheers. Kent Hovind, the real science teacher. So I looked through all 2,225 comments a few minutes ago, and mine seems to be gone. Would all my followers please cut and paste it back on his channel? It's probably some channel monitor he has that accidentally deleted it. I'd really like to win Dan to the Lord, and he needs to know he's welcome to call me or come visit me at DIL where he can learn some real science. So thanks for helping. Then I noticed another comment of mine I posted last night was gone. Claire, somebody said, Kent dares to attack Sagan. We ride at dawn. I said,
you know, I did not know what you guys call what we call the Revolutionary War, American War of Independence. That sounds pretty damn cool. And yeah, it would be just one small part of the empire. There's a lot going on with the British Empire, and the United States is a small fraction of it. What we became is kind of impressive, but that aspect of it is just a small fraction. So yeah, that juvenile idea that, oh, the Brits are mad they lost the Revolutionary War. Y'all really don't give a shit. I know y'all don't. We've moved past that as well. Need I remind everyone about our wonderful teamwork during a certain event called World War II? I think we're all good.
I'm ready. Bring it on. Sagan knows better now. Sad. I've been doing seminars on creation for 35 years, and he could have known. I'll debate any and all evolution believers anytime. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4 to schedule. If you're watching tonight, you're still upset, quit being upset and making nasty comments. Call and schedule a live debate. Put me in my place. Come on. I'll debate.
Oh, I put you in your place every stream. No need to debate you. Also, my God, he's tomato red already. Does this man like stroke out in the middle of the stream or something? Is that what happens? I'm getting it. Anticipation here.
5 or 10 at a time, if that'll be courage to ride at dawn for real. You go first and present the best evidence you have for evolution. I will counter.
Oh, yes, Sally. That's what I'm saying. Hail Satan.
Then you give the evidence number 2, etc. Equal time for each side, no interrupting, no profanity. Call to schedule or come visit our Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox to have the debate live on all my channels listed on drdino.com. This one disappeared too. So sad. I spent all that work at 3:30 in the morning. So I did another one.
3:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. No one fucking cares when you were up or not up, Hovind.
He said it's easy to debate a renowned scientist when they're no longer around to debunk you. Smooth, Kent, very smooth. I said, well, Dan's alive. You're alive. Call 855 Big Dino extension.
No, Kent. I'm sure a lot of us died inside years ago. Some of us when we discovered that you exist.
4, schedule a debate today. You can defend the evolution religion for poor Carl. That one disappeared too. I'm starting to feel discriminated against, Joseph. A little bit. Okay. Anyway, Dan's show, creationist, takes on scientific legend. Let me get over here.
Yes, links will pretty much instantly get put into the great YouTube black hole.
And play Dan. Okay. I got to go this way. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
One of my favourite scientists of all time is the late, great Carl Sagan. Absolutely adore him. And of course,
Hail Sagan.
he was an excellent science communicator. So imagine my absolute horror when I discover that Kent Hovind has decided to whack him for his Whack an Atheist video series. I cannot be having that.
You cannot be having that. What do you propose to do about it, Dan? You delete my comments. You won't come debate me, you coward. Come on. What do you mean you cannot be having that?
Oh, you're
The
so
British cannot
so petty, so bitter, Kent.
be having the Americans throw the tea in the harbor either, can they? Yeah. We did.
Yeah, Kent. Do you understand why we did that? What the symbolism in that act was? Do you even understand what the Revolutionary War was about? At all? I'm seriously wondering.
And we won. Took a while. But we'll win. Okay, so I'm going to skip up. He goes through an advertisement here up to, let's see, advertises somewhere around here, I think. Some kind of backpack or something. I don't want one.
Off in total. Just click the link in the description and use the code SIMANDAN.
Sorry about that.
Yep, use the code SIMANDAN for whatever he was being sponsored by during that. I forget exactly what it was, but it was something new, something different. I just can't remember what.
2025. Thank you again to Exeter for sponsoring. Right, on with today's video.
Yeah, that stuff.
Where Kent Hovind has Carl Sagan in his sights. I absolutely cannot allow this. So you know what I've got to do, people? Take.
Yes, S'mores, they do shadow ban comments. In fact, I think I'm actually in the shadow realm on Dan's channel because I've never gotten any traction on a comment I leave, regardless of how benign it is or how something else it is. Yet, Dan has interacted with me outside of there. He knows I exist. He knows I'm a fan. So, welcome to the internet. Welcome to YouTube. I don't get it. Could it be that Kent's account is banned? It could well also be, yeah, flagged in some capacity. Those are all entirely possible reasons, and they just disappear into the ether. Now, sometimes you can find your old comment, and indeed, there's a way to look at all the comments you've left as part of your history. You'd go into the search history, view history, and you can see your comment history. And sometimes comments do disappear into the black hole completely. Other times they're still there, and it's just they don't show publicly, which is how YouTube prefers to do things. And also, if it's Dan wants to, hide your comments and stuff, or his anyone he's got working and helping him out does, that's their prerogative. That's their space. So get the fuck over it.
Yeah, what do you got to do, Dan? If you're going to keep doing these programs like this, I'll keep doing them back and forth. We can do this. It's going to take a lot simpler. Just Call me on the phone, 855 Big Dino. I'm extension 3. Call me anytime.
Did y'all see AJ Caldhoven the other day? He posted the audio in the Discord, and then he made it into a video in the past 24 hours. It's an interesting thing to listen to. I especially love the part where where Kent's side just goes completely dead because, you know, they live in the middle of nowhere. So go check that out after this stream's done. We're going to be here a while.
Get away, Kent.
All right. I'm going to interrupt him about 400 times here. Go ahead, Carl.
Here we are on a planet which is about 5,000 million years old.
They start off right away with a propaganda statement. We know this planet is 5,000 million years old. You don't know any such thing. It can't possibly be that old for lots of scientific reasons. We cover on video number 1, the age of the Earth.
Thanks for reminding me about that, Zach. Yeah, Sideman Dan gave a debate offer to Kent years ago that he ran away from because he didn't want to take a fucking science test. I remember that. And yeah, Claude, if y'all don't know, Claude is straight banned from the channel in a degree of if he calls in and they recognize his voice, they cut it. So what the fuck are you going to cry about stuff, Kent, when Claude can't call in? He wants to talk about something. It's an open mic. Aren't you supposed to call in? Call in for an open mic? Huh? Oh, you don't want certain people calling in? Okay. Just want people who kiss your ass? Okay.
Like I tell you, if I told you this Bic ink pen was 4,000 years old, you could say I could prove that wrong very easily. It's a ballpoint. They didn't have ballpoint pens till 1888. Good point. That's when it was invented.
Great. And guess when the Earth formed? 4.6 billion years ago. We know that because we've tested it, repeated it, and there is a firm consensus amongst scientists that that is the age of the Earth. You're basically saying here that because pens are not 4,000 years old because they were invented in 1888, the Earth is not 4.6 billion years old. A pen is a specific invention.
Does that mean we should call the push against religious indoctrination the war for intelligence independence or something to that effect? I had it on tip of my tongue and then my brain just went, nope, you're going to say it and it's going to come out stupid. Come up with names for it. Let's see what you got.
By humans, made from specific materials at a particular point in time. The age of the pen is tied to human history, not natural processes. Dear, oh dear, Kent, very poor start.
Now note the tone and the delivery that Dan is doing. This is what I loved about this when I listened to it at work the other morning. He is on fire. It's very dignified rage. But Dan, this isn't normal Dan. This is screw you Kent Dan. Still being proper, still being a general audience YouTuber. But he's not a fan of Kent having gone after Sagan. Sorry, forgot his name for a moment. I've had a long day.
So you prove, Dan, you are making a dogmatic religious dogma statement. Oh, the Earth is 4.6 billion years. We know it is because other people believe it.
No, we know it is because the experts in this stuff have determined it to be that way. And if you think you know more than the experts, then publish and let the experts see what you got to publish and see what happens. And then you'll cry conspiracy. Because it can't be that you're just wrong. Everything's a fucking conspiracy.
Well, a lot of people believe in Islam. A lot of people believe in Jehovah's Witness. A lot of people believe in Mormons. That doesn't make it true.
A lot of people believe Christianity. That doesn't make it true.
And if this
And yes, I said crew.
evolution theory just came out, in the last 150 years, you mean back in 1800, everybody was wrong and it's okay to challenge that? Would it be okay to challenge this now? And maybe you guys have been wrong for 150 years?
Hey, we're past that stage. It's been challenged. That's what you don't understand, Kent. We're past that, all right? We're way past that. You want to drag us backwards? No. We're going to keep on moving forward. If you want to be a dumbass living in the Bronze Age, that's fine.
Oh, science is supposed to be open for criticism. I cover in video number 1 about 30 different ways to show the Earth cannot be billions of years old. And the illustration about the ink pen went completely over your head. Dan, it only takes one proof of a young Earth to prove it's young. If somebody's arrested
Well, then by that logic, only takes one proof of an old Earth to prove it's old. Also, your proofs are a bunch of lies, so you have nothing.
Accused of a crime. And they bring up 30 pieces of evidence. Here's why this guy's guilty. And one person brings up one piece of evidence. Your Honor, he wasn't there at the scene. He was over here in China or something.
Cassius, hey buddy, and let's not forget to say, hey Joe, and Rogue Rainbow, Falk Firebeard, I mean everybody. Sorry I can't spend all day, doing every single person by name. Y'all know I love you. Y'all are great.
Place. One proof of...
And those of you watching but not chatting, feel free to join in the discussion. Have some fun as I knock over stuff on my desk because I have no sense of spatial awareness. Where am I? Who are you people? Let's continue.
He wasn't there. One proof of innocence is all it takes. He's innocent. One proof of a young Earth is all it really takes. All your other evidences don't matter. Okay? I know you guys cannot comprehend that. One evidence of a young Earth, and I got about 30 of them on video number 1. Get those on my series. Get the whole series for $50. And
DVD 1, the one that Logic went over, and Hello, my name is Kent Hovind, I think that's the one he was actually debunking. I think he did a pretty damn good job with that one.
Or you can watch it online someplace. So I'm sorry, Dan, you're mistaken. The ink pen illustration is a good one, and it completely went over your head. Sorry. Listen to it one more time. Prove my 5,000-year claim wrong, just with that one fact. You can say, wait a minute, it's got made of plastic. Plastics weren't invented until 1907. Another fact that proves my claim is wrong.
So your Bic pen was made in 1888 before plastic was invented?
Oh, I believe what we have here is a case of Dan straight up taking the piss, as our friends across the pond say. That's what vibe I get from it.
How can you miss something so simple, Dan? Are you in kindergarten or something? I'm saying because it's a ballpoint, it has to be after 1888. Because it's plastic, it has to be after 1907. How can you not get this? Am I missing something? And he misses them all. He doesn't get it. I don't know what grade you're in, Dan, but you need to come to Dinosaur Adventure and learn some real science. Look, the whole thing, he doesn't get it. It's a simple illustration. And
Yeah, John Morris Pendleton. Loved Logic going over that guy. So I hadn't been able to quite track down too much of his older stuff, anything that isn't what Logic already covered. And it feels a little iffy given that he passed a few years ago. Feels a little mean to cover. I know he had his spitefulness and he was in the Hovind Karl Baugh camp. I could, but I don't know how I'd go about it. Like, I'd want to be slightly reserved out of a relative respect for the guy. I mean, he was a dickbag in his email to Logic, but, So I don't know. But I am familiar, thanks to Logic, of John, chemist, auto mechanic, mid-husband, John Morris Pendleton. Harvard age.
it's home. Keep going, Ken. Okay, go ahead.
Awesome, Kent. I am, of course, being flippant here. His whole argument is flawed. That's why.
Then you say it's made by Bic. It's got it right on it. BIC. Bic Company didn't start till 1944. 3 simple facts of history show my claim of 5,000 years is wrong.
Yes, and you pulled that 5,000-year claim from your you-know-what. The fact that...
I love that. Oh, that's what I mean. Dan would normally never go even that close to breaking limits, and he's right there on the edge. Love it.
Earth is 4.6 billion years old.
The fact that Earth is 4.6 billion years old. So you make these dogmatic statements, and your crazy followers believe it. Wow, they lick it up. Wow, Dan said it. It's got to be true. The Earth cannot possibly be that old for obvious scientific reasons. The magnetic field getting weaker. The Earth is slowing down in its spin. The Earth is cooling off. The oceans are filling in with sediment. The oceans are getting saltier. I cover a whole bunch of it.
Only thing getting saltier is you, Hovind. Also, his hand with motion blur, he's covering his mouth. It looks like some sort of alien duck. Hovind, Hovind. And Dan's looking at him like, what the hell is that? Oh, too perfect. Too perfect. Everyone get your screenshot of that in. Giving you a moment. Little bit longer. Let's continue.
It can't be that old. You might want it to be that old because you need it for your religion, but I'm sorry, it can't be, Dan. Scientifically, this earth cannot be that old. These numbers, billions of years, get lost in the human brain. And it really gets lost in yours. Okay, let's go.
It's just that, a fact.
It's not. It's a
Yes. Why do people laugh at creationists? That was a nice one. I hadn't checked Thunderfoot in a while. I need to, like, it's been so long. I'm still subscribed, but it's been so long that YouTube isn't really suggesting too much stuff to me. And I absolutely despise Musk. So ironically, that means I don't watch his anti-Musk content because I don't want to be involved in, even watching like content criticizing him. I think the last thing I watched was one of the live, when he was doing a live stream of one of the Starship launches, like the second or third launch, I think it was. And that's about it. So I don't know what Thunderfoot's been up to recently. Still like the guy, even if he went, on the anti-SJW bent for a while, which I'm mixed on stuff. There's a balance, and it's all one side or the other. That's what I'll put on the SJW subject, which, my God, that's been like 11, 12 years now of crazy. But let's continue with the Hovent.
fact. There must be, because he said it. No, Dan, listen to me. It's a fact. The earth is 6,000 years old. It's a fact. And the Bible is true, Dan. It's a fact. How do you like it? Complicated. Carl, your claim of 5,000 million years for the age of the earth is easy to prove wrong. It can't be. I know you need billions of years to hide your religion in.
I love that Dino Lamp is visible in Dan's video, of Hoven's video, but not visible here. And this really shows you how they must clearly take and move the camera every single time, because the perspective and framing is completely different. It's way higher here. It's lower in the video where he's talking about Carl Sagan. The framing's more close. My God, can they keep anything consistent at fucking Dinosaur Adventureland and Genesis Baptist Church in Lenox, Alabama? Oh, right. They can't because they're idiots.
I understand, but you can't have it. Look at video number 1, scientific ways to show the earth simply can't be billions of years old. But you atheists are going to comment tonight. You're scared of this one. You have to have billions of years.
Zoso, yeah, I've seen the pin. It's in a museum downtown. It was blue. The ink just looks black now because it aged. Totally seen it. You got a photo of it when it was happening? That's fucking awesome. James Tour, more like James Bohr. Oh yeah, speaking of James Tour, I had some guy pop on my video and be like, "Abiogenesis is impossible." I'm like, "No, da-da-da-da-da-da-da." And he's like, "Oh, what about your biases, da-da-da-da-da?" And I responded basically to, "It looks like you want to debate. If you wish to pay my fees, well, we can discuss this. Otherwise, get lost." Because that's just the way I'm, referring to everything now. Plus the whole thanks with a $sign for the comment. Yeah. All they're doing is helping out, and these idiots don't realize it.
That's your pacifier.
We don't have to have billions of years. It's just that billions of years have passed.
There you go. Dogmatic statement again. See, this is how religious cults do things. Just yell it over and over, louder and louder, and everybody starts to believe it after a while.
Really, Kent? You hear what you're saying, right? Evolution is the most dumbest and dangerous religion ever. No one's seen a cow give birth to a non-cow. Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Pol Pot, Farrah Fawcett, they were all inspired by Darwin's book, Hoven.
Like Jim Jones and Adolf Hitler was a religious cult, boy, the way he just over and over, we're the superior race. We got to eliminate the rest of the inferiors. That's all you're doing. That's why I say evolution's a dangerous cult religion, nothing else. Look at it. Dogma. We know the earth is a fact. Don't you question it.
Yeah, Zach, that's the thing about Thunderfoot. His videos were a little long-winded.
I'm going to question it, Dan.
Again, fact.
Sorry, Carl, it is not 5,000 million years old. It's easy to prove. It cannot be. Now, the Bible teaches about 6,000. I don't think I can prove that scientific. I don't need to. I'm not making mine taught in the school system. But it can't be billions. like my ink pen. This is not 5,000-year-old Bic pen. It's not complicated. Okay, go ahead. So Dan, let me explain it in smaller words. I don't have a pen. Let's pretend this is a Bic pen. It is not possible for this to be 5,000 years old for three simple scientific reasons. Bic wasn't a company till 1946. Plastics weren't made till.
Yeah, Big Bad Mama just saw that. I had taken a screenshot myself, but yeah, having one in Discord for everybody to enjoy. Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun with that, and I'll probably use your cut of it for the for making the thumbnail if I do remember to make a thumbnail for this one. I've gotten tired of making thumbnails. I'm just letting it automatically pick it. I don't care much about the SEO game. All I care about is finding the right people, which means I guess I should care about the SEO game. I don't know. By the way, Hoven's weird colored mouse in the video looks like a little satellite orbiting the Earth. Whee! It's the Hoven Ship 1. We sent him up there to get him off the planet. He's cryogenically frozen. We'll thaw him out when Jesus comes back. It's been 48 million years and he's still in orbit.
1907. Ballpoints weren't invented until 1888. Any one of those three facts proves the 5,000-year claim wrong. I don't know when it was made, and I don't care. But it's not 5,000. I can't prove the Earth is 6,000 years old, but it doesn't matter. It's not billions for scientific reasons. Forget the Bible. It is scientifically impossible for the Earth to be that old. Why can't you guys grow up and just learn some real science and admit it? Why don't you pick a theory that fits into a smaller number? There's lots of ways to prove it simply can't be that old. The oldest language, the oldest written recorded example of capital punishment. I go through about 30 of them, Dan. Watch video number 1.
The sun around which it goes is not much older.
Sun that the Earth goes around is older than the Earth. If you read the Bible.
Otaku. Goose, you out here claiming blue ink can evolve into black ink. It's just a different kind of ink. It's still ink.
The Bible made earth, heaven and earth first, and then on day 3 he made the sun, moon, and stars.
So that means it was totally dark on days 1 and 2 then, yeah? I'll be interested to know what light sources were around on days 1 and 2.
I do love that because it opens with "Let there be light," and then there's just a phantasmal glow. Remove the glow around the primordial Earth and Jesus' butthole. Hoven. There's a deep Cinemassacre AVGN reference for you. Inspector Gadget. God is Inspector Gadget. Move the glow. Let's continue.
Okay, Dan, I don't think you're curious to know it all, but I'll tell you anyway. The Bible says God is light. Jesus is the light of the world. I think God deliberately made the earth first and then the sun 2 days later because he wanted his people to know.
This is true. He never does mispronounce Adolf Hitler. Interesting.
You don't worship.
You think he'd say like Adolf Schittler, but wait, that's profanity. I think if you're talking about Hitler, you get a pass.
The thing. It's a big hot ball up there. We need it for lots of stuff, but you don't worship it like many people did down through history. So that's why God himself is light. You can have light at night when the sun is not even shining. How many have ever seen that before?
Hey, Kent, find me a time when the sun isn't shining. You can't. That's what stars do. That's all they do. Via a multitude of processes, but the end result is stars shine, the earth says hello. It's Mr. Burns, kill it.
You can light up your house like with electric lights. There's lots of ways, isn't there? LEDs, fire. You can produce light quite a few different ways, Dan. You don't have to have the sun. You're not curious to know it all, but I thought maybe some of your followers. Okay, go ahead.
Indeed, there were any, or was it just pitch black?
Made the earth first, 2 days older. But I don't know how you can prove that scientifically. But the sun is burning up an awful lot of fuel. 5 million tons per second, the sun burns. Okay? Well, you can't keep doing that. Pretty soon you run out of gas.
Yeah, well, it will in about 5 billion years. So we're good for the moment.
Wait a minute. So, Dan, if the sun is burning,
and it won't even necessarily run out, it'll just reach a point in its equilibrium where the internal pressures outweigh the gravitational force, and comes a giant. as it gets hotter and hotter. It's really complicated. It's a beautiful balance. Love stars. Love stars. Wouldn't want to get too close to one, but I like them a lot.
Burning up 5 million tons a second, and it's going to burn out in 5 billion years. And you're claiming it was created 5 billion years ago and the Earth 4.6 billion years ago. That means the sun was an awful lot bigger. How did...
Not really. Kent, can you please tell us the mass of the sun? Go on. Derive that for me. Then do the math.
How did the Earth make it without melting and falling apart? Because the sun would be an awful lot hotter just by your own logic.
No, actually, it wouldn't.
It'd destroy everything within a certain radius. Plus, the gravity of the sun would be incredible. The Earth can't possibly have been in orbit at just this right distance, 93 million miles from the sun, for life to exist for a long time. Because the sun was burning up its fuel and shrinking for 5 billion years, wasn't it? So the sun cannot be billions of years old. We covered that, one of the many I cover on video number 1. Just let him blabber. Talking.
It is part of.
Yeah, his blood pressure is going sky high, and it's really great that we have a comparison to a relatively calm Kent. He is just losing it here. Off your meds, old man?
A galaxy, which is perhaps 10 or 12,000 million years old.
There he goes again. You make these claims, and everybody starts to believe it because they made the claim. Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough and often enough, the people will believe it.
Indeed they will. Incidentally, did you know that Matt Powell has a giant inflatable banana in his backyard?
I forgot this was coming up. Oh, I love it. Also, need to remind everyone that's Goebbels who said that, not Adolphi. I wish Dan would have brought that up, but that's fine. Dan's taking the piss with this whole video.
What does that have to do with the topic, Dan? You're going off into ad hominem arguments.
Well, missing the point completely, Kent. Lie enough people believe it. He's talking about Professor Peel. We talk about Professor Peel enough, people will believe it. And that pisses Matt Powell off, because Matt Powell's a fucking idiot just like you.
This is a sure sign you're losing the debate. You got to attack somebody's character. It's an illustration, okay?
Yes, let me share this from Claude for those of you listening. Kent only pretends to dislike Hitler, when in fact Kent pushed the protocols of the Elders of Zion, a Hitler favorite. Indeed he did, and that is why I say that Kent Hovind is actually a Nazi. 100%.
You peel a banana. Banana had to be created. So you guys, read your comment section. 2,000 some comments, almost all of them.
Yeah, seriously. I am not ready to take on Gigas. And trust me, taking the bus with the Runway 5 be fucking amazing. And I don't feel like dealing with the ghosts in Threed. Parking two sides kind of nice. Tucson. 4 side, that's a bit much for me. Music in Scarabias. Scarabia. Actually, is it Scarabia or Scarabia? Never thought about that. When I see it written, it's Scarabia, but I want to say Scarabia. Either way, the music there, if you let it play a little bit, is fucking awesome. And for those who don't know, that's a reference. We're all referencing the game Earthbound. One of my favorites.
Hate comments against me, personal attacks. Tax protester. No, I'm not. Watch February 1st show and tell me what law I broke. I didn't break any laws. The government broke a bunch of laws. But you guys, see, it's all you've got. You can't handle the truth, so you have to attack the person. Ad hominem attack. That's a sure sign you're losing the debate, Dan, and you are losing the debate. But here he goes. So Matt Powell's got a banana in his backyard. I don't care. He's up in Michigan someplace. I don't even know where he lives. Michigan. Okay. It's a big state.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's Soot saying, here it comes. Here it comes, okay. I didn't say hi earlier, Kiwi, but hey, been a hot minute. Return of Dr. Peel. That was Professor Peel. I don't even know. In the 1600s, a Catholic theologian thought the rings of Saturn were Jesus' foreskin. Sounds about right. Vice Rhino, thank you for starting that. Yep, thank you, Vice Rhino. One of the cool ones. Remember when he had like the actual rhino picture? That was like ancient Vice Rhino. Early days. Ken is also fond of saying something like, the brown cow eats the green grass and makes the white milk. We drink the white milk and get the blonde hair and blue eyes. Hovering, totally Nordic. I got to bring it up and randomly talk about Sweden and Norwegian and then I'm totally not a Nazi though. Sun isn't a fucking combustion engine. Combustion and fusion are not the same. Yep. Because the actual mass loss of the sun is relatively small, given how much energy is being released in the process, since it is a fusion reaction and, equals MC squared plays a role in that. It's not pure antimatter, but damn. Always gestures to himself with the blonde hair, blue eyes. Yep. You can't handle the truth, Harvard. Kent, you objectively broke many laws. Yes, you did. Trying to get caught up on the chat because y'all are awesome. Other entire bit, Kent cannot get what's going on. He's completely oblivious. Professor Peel. Was Professor Peel. Okay. Well, he has to be a doctor as well. If he's a professor, he's probably a doctor as well. Also on Big Foreskin. Don't get Kent started on penis size. Jesus had an astronomical penis, 48 AU, until it was uncut. And then when it was cut, that's the rings of Saturn. That's what it was said, Hovland. Meeting at 3 and I don't want to go. Allie, you got to. You got to. Rogue Rainbow with a banger. Heard Dr. Peel was the banana that Amazing Atheist used. G-Man. TJ, why'd you stick a banana up your butt? For sexual pleasure. What do you want me to say? Oh, Lord. Drunken peasants. Love it. TJ fucked a banana. Kent, I'm also slightly Nordic myself, Swedish at that, so fuck off. Hell yeah. Fuck you, Kent. You're giving people of Northern European ancestry a bad name.
What difference does that make?
Oh, wait, he wasn't talking to me. He was referring to Dan. Sorry. For a moment there, I was confused. I'm having too much fun. I seriously wasn't, but I thought I'd have a funny joke there. Let's continue.
I don't know what you got in your backyard. I don't care, Dan.
That he calls Dr. Peel? No? Well, now you do. Did you also know that Kent Hovind has a giant inflatable pink pony in his bathroom that he calls Baroness Hoof?
Here you are with a stupid, really stupid ad hominem attack, Dan.
So, it's not an ad hominem, Kent. It's not how ad hominems work. And he's using these obviously ridiculous statements to prove a point that you are completely missing. Holy shit. I feel like after this, I'm going to press play and just let it go for a while. I feel like we're about to have an amazing mental breakdown. Because Soot warned that this is it. So, buckle up, Buttercup.
Why would you say something so dumb? Why do you guys always get off on these sexual innuendos? You got a one-track mind and it's derailed, son.
Interesting, right?
And that is what has happened with this stupid idea that the universe is billions of years old. It cannot be for lots of logical scientific reasons.
Are you going to tell us any of these logical or scientific reasonings, or are you just going to say it?
I've said it for 35 years, Dan. I've showed it on my video series, 30-some reasons why the universe and the Earth cannot be that old. Why don't you watch the video and tell me what I did wrong with those, Dan? The sun is burning about 5 million tons a second. It's losing a lot of mass. That's going to create a problem. As the mass of the sun changes, the gravitational pull with all these planets is going to be changing. You want to go back 5 billion years and add 5 million tons a second to the sun? I think you're going to have a problem keeping Mercury and Venus and Earth and maybe Mars in orbit. They'd suck them right in. You guys, it's your job to prove all these things are wrong. Just like the one proof that a guy wasn't even at the crime is enough to set him free. One proof of a young Earth is all you need. One. You got to debunk all of them. You guys, you will not comprehend that logic because your religion might be
From the guy who says he taught science for 15 years and knows all this stuff, but doesn't understand how stellar fusion works.
Proven wrong. I'm sorry. Anyway, Dan, listen to this guy. He's good. Okay. Call in if you want to have a debate on that one. And tonight, anybody, call in. I know this is pulling your pacifier out. I know. Okay.
Which is one, perhaps hundreds of thousands of millions of other galaxies.
Carl, there are hundreds of thousands of millions of other galaxies. And you guys believe it all fit in a dot smaller than an atom.
We currently do, yes. And
I'm glad you admit that, Dan. Do you ever stop and think about what you think about? You believe all the galaxies fit into a dot smaller than an atom.
Hey, Kent, what's the maximum density of energy? Once you calculate that for me, I'll wait.
Who on earth taught you that, and why were you dumb enough to believe it? They'll say, one of the guys in the comment section said, well, yeah, if you put enough pressure, you can do it. Who's supplying the pressure? Where'd the pressure come from? What just happened? That's why it's a religion. You believe this stuff. Great. It's not science.
until a better theory comes along with sufficient evidence to support it, we will continue to do so.
Until a better theory comes along with evidence to support it, you're going to continue.
Yeah, because that's how science works. If you've got a better explanation for what we see and it actually works and more accurately explains than the current theory, we've got to move to that one. But what you've got doesn't work. It doesn't qualify remotely as a theory. It's just a bunch of Bronze Age bullshit that the only reason you go against what we actually know is because it pushes your Bronze Age bullshit into a further and further corner of irrelevancy. And that makes you mad.
Continue to believe in this exploding dot. Is everybody in your country that dumb, Dan? I hope not, man. You'd have to go to college for years to be that stupid. Listen to him. You can't squeeze a gallon of milk into a dot smaller than an atom.
Well, you can't today, no. That's just silly, Kent.
But it happened long ago and far away where we can't see it. I thought you're a sci man, Dan. Doesn't that stand for science? I thought it sort of, maybe it's, what else could it stand for?
Maybe he's like Aaron Ron, he's a science communicator.
Science communicator, yeah, right. He finally got a BS, we know what that is, from Aaron Rod did, from the mail order. He complains about my degrees, or correspondence schools. He got his BS from the...
No one complains about it being a correspondence, Kent. They complain about the fact that it's not an accredited university. Therefore, there are no standards. You even acknowledge this, yet simultaneously complain about it like this. And in this case, lie about what the complaint is. Because you're a liar. Lying liar is a lying doo-doo head. There. I said the naughty words doo-doo head. You gonna be mad, Kent? You gonna talk about I had in my mouth that you wouldn't have in your hand? A word?
The mail. Yeah, didn't you? Now he's going to get an MS. That's more of the same. Then a PhD. That's piled higher and deeper. Yeah. I don't know how it's brainwashing is what it is. You guys have heard it all your life since you were little and you believed it. Shame on you. You don't understand science.
And none of this, planets, suns, galaxies, was around at the time of the Big Bang.
So none of that was around at the time of the Big Bang. There was no Big Bang. You're going to put all that stuff in a dot, smaller than an atom. I show you the references right on screen many, many times. That's what they believe. Where did the dot come from? Where did the energy come from? Where did the laws come from to govern the universe? Why is there a law of gravity? Centrifugal force.
Laws are descriptive, not prescriptive. Matter and energy are one and the same. Matter is effectively just slowed down energy. Time and space are the same, space-time, and they seem to be an emergent property of what we would define as reality. Boom. Everything solved.
Force, inertia, Boyle's laws. Why? Who made the laws? Anyway, yeah, they won't get it. Go ahead. Did you hear what he said? None of this, the sun, the planets, the galaxies, none of it was around at the time of the Big Bang. Okay, where did it come from?
Well, I assume you know that protons and neutrons were quick to form. And then after...
Protons and neutrons are quick to form. Dan.
Were quick to form. Relatively soon after cosmic inflation began, the universe reached a temperature where your quark gluon plasma and the like, which took its own amount of time to eventually get to something remotely stable, the quarks and such could coalesce into formations that would become protons, some neutrons, electrons, croutons.
Where's your evidence for that? Form out of what? Out of nothing? Come on. Where did the protons and neutrons come from?
Protons. It's been explained. Energy mass equivalency, Kent. This is not hard to figure out.
And those electrons that finally got going around those initial atoms.
Oh, here he goes. Why don't they ever run out of gas?
They're still going around really fast. Well, don't they ever get tired? They go around about a zillion times in a zillionth of a second. And they never get tired. Where'd that energy come from?
You don't understand quantum fields at all, do you, dumbass?
Well, anyway, you guys won't comprehend that one at all, I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah, like you don't comprehend quantum fields worth a damn. You want to talk about entanglement, Kent? Not entanglement like you have with the law, but, quantum entanglement? Quantum tunneling? You want to talk about, double slit experiments and the like? Do you want to discuss this stuff, Kent? Because I'm ready for you. Call me, 855 Big Dildo, extension 666.
After a few minutes, they began sticking together, and we had a load of hydrogen and helium. And when I say a load, I mean a load. After all that, it was just a matter of time.
So all of a sudden, you got a load of atoms running around. Coming from what, Dan? Coming from what? See, I admit, I believe God did it. You guys will not admit you had a magic bunch of atoms got formed. You believe in magic. It's a stupid religion. But that's okay. I don't mind you having that religion. I do mind having to pay to have that dumb idea taught to all the kids in schools and public, or any tax-funded universities and parks and museums. You guys ought to fund your own religion. I do mine. I don't ask you to pay for mine.
This just in, Ken Hovind funds all of young Earth creationism. Film at 11.
Anyway.
Nucleosynthesis, all the good stuff.
That's an awful lot of matter to come into existence out of nothing. This is how they start their stupid fairy tale, and everybody falls for it. The title of his program is, we need something about get away from religion. Okay, well, evolution is a religion. Carl Pagan's program, we need to get science away from religion. Okay, take evolution out. It's real simple, evolution. I love science, and science is wonderful. But they've mixed evolution in with it for so long, they think it's part of it. Like I say, look, beer is sold at football games. Beer has nothing to do with football. And you can take beer out of football games and still play the game. Did you know that? Yeah. You can still have science without evolution. It's not part of the theory. It's a religion. That's all it is. You guys should get away from it.
At the time of the Big Bang, there was energy, elementary particles.
At the time of the Big Bang, there was energy and elementary particles. Where did they come from?
Well, we are big enough and ugly enough to admit when we don't know something.
Well, that's my point, Dan. Therefore, you take it by faith. Therefore, it's not part of science. Science is what we can...
Nope. It's not faith. When you get to the quantum level, you understand things get really, really weird. So at that point, you kind of got to throw your hands up and be like, we ain't figured this out yet because everything behaves completely unintuitively, and we're working on it. We're also trying to measure at values beyond anything we should even be able to understand. It is incredible that we can somehow detect subatomic particles based on the tiniest interactions they have with otherwise extant full-on atoms and molecules and devices and shit. But we've apparently developed shit that's that sensitive, and it's fucking amazing. We figured out what a quark bouncing into something, the actual energy it induces into particular equipment and the like. Shit like that. We know things are pretty damn weird. And at that point, when we realize, hey, it gets so weird when you reach cosmic origins that we just can't quite wrap our head around it. And we say, that's fine. We understand that we don't know. We're going to figure it out eventually, hopefully. If we don't, that's fine too. But we don't just make up shit. Unlike you.
And observe, study, test, and demonstrate. Do it again. Make some energy and protons and neutrons out of nothing. Let's do it again. Use all the labs in the world. All the labs in the world combined cannot make an acorn. You're dumber than a nut. This thing can make a tree. Can you make a tree? You guys, you finally admit you don't know. Okay, then you're on my side, Dan. It's a religious belief that you have, nothing more, and it's fine. I admire your faith, but don't call it science. How can they not get it? Willingly ignorant.
Yes, I should point this out that as Claude brings up, for those who have not noticed, Kent is finally no longer wearing his wedding ring. So he's admitted that she gone.
Peter hit it right. 2 Peter chapter 3. Okay.
And that's okay. You, Kent, though, will never say that, will you?
I say all the time, I don't know where God came from. I don't know. I take by faith that God did it. Even the phrase come from indicates he's limited by space and time. I serve a God that's not limited by time, space, or matter. He's infinite. He's outside of time, space, matter. We're the ones that are stuck in time, not God. This is not 2025 in heaven. God sees all time at the same time. He created matter. He's outside of the universe. He's in it, through it, around it, under it. He can come visit it if he wants or go out. He can go ahead or backwards in time. He's not limited by anything, the God that I serve. But you guys, you finally admit you don't know where the matter came from or the energy. Well, good. Then quit calling the Big Bang part of science.
Emergent property of reality. Mic drop. Debunk that fucker.
Neil, I don't see any hope of him getting it.
It's hard.
Bobby got, his channel would go to 0 if he got converted, wouldn't it, Dan? That's okay. You can get an honest job picking peaches or doing something, plowing potatoes.
Oh, like you need to get an honest job. Mr. I hadn't done any actual work in like 40 fucking years. Go to jail, Kent.
I'm sure they got jobs over there in England. See, you guys can't start with nothing like you really believe. Because then the question is, where did matter and time and energy come from? I've been saying that all along. I believe by faith in the beginning, there's time, God created the heaven and the earth. I believe that by faith. You believe by faith in your stupid Big Bang, but you won't admit it's a faith. You think it's somehow science because you've heard it all your life.
No, it's not faith because we have evidence. That's how science works.
What evidence would you have for matter coming from nothing, Dan? Just making that statement is not common sense. I'd like to see this evidence. Make some more matter out of nothing, why don't you?
Maybe this is why he hasn't done a whacking atheist on me. I get his blood pressure up too high. I mean, with Robert Beatty having kind of stepped away to a degree, even though he was in my chat the other day and is subscribed to the channel. So if you see this, hi, Robert. I now take the new title or become the new person of Kent Hovind's worst nightmare because he barely acknowledges me, but he knows I exist. Oh, prove me wrong, Kent.
And send a jar of it to us. We want it to keep put in our science center. This matter was made from nothing. I want to see that. I'm losing hope you're ever
Good point, Maria.
We're going to get it, Dan. But I'll keep trying. You're fun. And thank you. It makes my job so easy. I don't have to hardly prepare for these at all. I got to do is watch you talk. Stick your foot in it every time. Okay.
Yours is a faith because there is no evidence. None.
It's not because there is no evidence. I have faith that somebody outside of time, space, matter created this universe. I think we have evidence because we have matter. We have energy. We have order. We have design. I think there must have been a designer. If you're walking through the woods and you find a Model T Ford, you look around, there's nobody there. I think it's logical to conclude somebody made that. If you're walking through the woods and you find an arrowhead, it's logical to believe somebody designed it. It's not just a rock anymore. This thing's been worked on.
Yeah, and the fact that it's been worked on in a particular way tells us that it's an artificial construct, which we define as an arrowhead. Do you not get what makes it an arrowhead? but you want to apply those criteria to everything, which makes the comparison meaningless.
And everything we see around us has been designed, from the molecules to the galaxies. What do you mean there's no evidence for a designer? It's everywhere. You can't see the
Yeah, in all seriousness, that is very true, Billy.
forest because the trees are in your way, Dan. Nothing but a religion, guys. I'm sorry.
which slowly evolved into the kind of universe we know today.
Another propaganda statement. All these particles slowly evolved to what we have.
See, I hate that, Sagan would have used that verbiage. But of course, at the time, he had no idea that it would be perverted by someone like Hovind to be like, oh, that's part of the 6 kinds of evolution, because I'm going to conflate biological evolution and its definition with colloquial usage of evolve. Because, I'm a fucking nitwit.
Today, you can't possibly
Dishonest prick, Hovind.
know that. You can believe it and you can repeat it over and over like the Muslims do. Every religion keeps repeating their mantra over and over and over. People start to think it's true because they've heard it for 500 times, It's not true. It's certainly not science.
Big Bang nucleosynthesis is a theory. It's a theory that predicts within the first few minutes after the Big Bang, protons and neutrons combine together to form deuterium. And
Dan, you're going a little faster. Slow down, think.
No, he's not. But maybe it's easy for me because I actually understand what's being said here, and you've just been confused by the word big.
About what you're thinking about. You want to start.
Because, as we all know, Kent doesn't know anything that's big. Not any personal experience, anyway.
With particles and energy. Where did that come from, Dan? And I know you don't know because
Everybody say hi to Seth.
nobody knows. Which is why yours is a religion as much as mine is, which is fine. Just admit it and get it out of the schools. That's all.
then helium, along with small amounts of lithium.
So we made some hydrogen and some helium and a little bit of lithium, elements 1, 2, 3 on the chart. And how do you change those into gold, silver, platinum, uranium? That's one.
Stellar nucleosynthesis. As I explained previously, you throw enough energy into fusion, you can get whatever. All right. If you sling the right particles at the right energy level, you can basically do alchemy. Nothing's precluding it. So, fucking deal with it, Kent.
One of my steps, stages of evolution, chemical evolution. These chemical elements have to evolve from hydrogen. I'd like to see you make some gold from hydrogen, Dan. Can you do that for me, please? Or you can start with lithium if you want. They use most of it for battery now, but hey, okay. Make some gold, silver, platinum. They can't fuse past iron. And to even that, the
Wrong, you can.
fusion process requires enormous energy and pressure from a star. Well, then who's giving the matter and energy for the star?
Gravity! You ever heard of fucking gravity?
You guys just don't get it. You really have a problem and you can't seem to admit it. You believe by faith. You're the one who got the pink pony in the bathroom, Dan. You imagine all kinds of things, don't you?
Observed abundance of these elements in the universe now.
There is an abundance of these elements in the universe now. Okay, Dan? They all came from a dot of nothing? You really believe that?
It's consistent with those predictions, making
The fact that there's a bunch of these elements in the universe now is consistent with the predictions that everything came from nothing? Who taught you?
Yes, the entire working model on the life cycle of stars from population 3 to population 2 to population 1 stars. Because yes, that's how we order them. Understanding of the elemental components of the universe at different points in time. Everything shows a nice gradient, nice matching patterns, because we kind of built the model based on what we actually know. And the beautiful thing is the fact that we can effectively look back in time by telescopes peering deep, deep, deep into the cosmos. We can get measurements that indicate that our estimates and our theories match. And you get some really bright blobs that are clearly nothing but hydrogen spectrally. Granted, it's redshifted to the nth degree, but you accommodate for that. You calculate, you compensate for that. And you get straight spectral lines of pretty much pure hydrogen. There's no metals in these stars. They're probably early stars making up early proto-galaxies from right after the Big Bang. What a shock! Funny, I understood this as a kid. Why can't you as a 72-year-old man?
Do that. Get your money back, Dan.
It's a strong piece of evidence for the Big Bang.
That's evidence for the Big Bang? Dan, stop and think about what you're saying, would you? Your listeners need to
Kent is indeed always full of himself because he's shit. And thus, he's full of shit.
stop and listen to what you're teaching. You guys got to get away from this guy. He's leading you down the wrong path. He doesn't know science at all. He's really good at promoting his religion. And if you want that, okay. But you wanted some real science, you better get away from this guy.
Paul, I don't recall seeing you around here before. If you have been and I missed you, I'm sorry. Hey, welcome. God of nothing is an accurate description of the space between Kent's ears. That it is, my friend. That it is.
That is just one line of evidence to show you. And there's a load more. But you just ignore those, don't you?
You keep saying you got a lot of evidence. You never show me. You make statements of faith. You don't show me any evidence. You can't.
You know, Kent, and this goes for everyone out there thinking like Hovind and wanting this constant debate culture and doing these calls to, show me this, show me that. It's not our job to fucking educate you. The information's out there. Look it up your own goddamn self and shut the fuck up. It's not Dan's job to fill you in on details of shit you're just going to ignore. It's not my job to leave it in the comments and argue with random fuckers all day. Have my phone blowing up with notifications because these idiots can't just ignore a video they don't like. I don't sit there and demand you educate me on everything about your stupid Bible, mostly because I don't give a fuck. But you're obsessed with this stuff. And you put on the air of wanting to know so badly and actually see evidence when you just hand wave shit away constantly to a point where no one's playing your game anymore and you're bitter about it. Stay bitter, old man. Take that shit to the grave.
Yeah, there is no evidence. Tell you what, if matter and energy created itself out of nothing one time, a long time ago, do it again. Science is repeatable. You can demonstrate experiments. Science where we can observe, study, test, and demonstrate. Read the definition.
Yep, and we can demonstrate all the properties that make up the greater theories, thus showing that nothing precludes the greater theories from being valid. It's like the dude bitching about abiogenesis is impossible, and it's like, nothing precludes it. He's like, it's still impossible. It's like, no, nothing in chemistry prevents it. Ergo, unless you got something that does preclude it, it is perfectly sensible to accept that chemicals behaving as chemicals do might just happen to get together in a certain way that creates particular chemical machinery, so to speak, and self-replicating patterns that we would end up eventually describing as life. Show that it can't happen then. Otherwise, if nothing precludes it, then it's a non-issue. It's non-trivial, or it is trivial for all this to go. You prove your Bible. You prove your God. Go ahead, Kent. You ain't got shit. And that's when you go, well, I believe on faith and you believe too. Which is why you go through it's just faith, it's just a religion crap. Because that makes all the idiots who, if they thought about it for 3 seconds, would realize, oh, this is a whole load of crap. There's nothing actually to this. Makes them feel better because then they think, oh, well, there's nothing to what the actual science says either because Kent Hovind fucking says so. Because, we should totally trust what this asshole says. A guy who's demonstrated to have nearly as shitty a vocabulary as a capability and reading comprehension as Donald fucking Trump, who has had multiple issues with the law, who's clearly a sovereign citizen nut job, some miracle, not a flat earther. But this guy, we're supposed to believe, we're supposed to think knows his stuff, when even I'm speaking way past his level off the cuff on stuff because it just so happens to be the kind of crazy science stuff that, works for me. I don't get it. How can you be so stupid to think that this clown has anything of intelligence to say? Seriously, if you believe anything Kent Hovind says, you're fucking stupid. Okay? Okay. Don't at me. You want to debate? $20 an hour. Send it to PayPal first, then we'll talk.
Of science. Then do it again, Dan. Have another big bang.
Kent.
We are the product of a grand evolutionary sequence.
We are the product of a grand evolutionary sequence. Again, you don't know any such thing. And Carl, you know better now, listening from where you are. Okay?
He can't hear you, Kent. He's no longer alive.
Dan, he can hear me just fine. The people in hell in Luke chapter 16, I think it was the rich man in hell. He begged Lazarus, Lord, will you please send Abraham, please send Lazarus back to tell my brothers, because they're coming here too. And Carl's probably begging somebody to send somebody back to tell you, Dan, don't come here, don't follow me. But you're not listening. But I'll help you. Call me, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 3. I'll take your call. I'll take calls till I get ready to go to bed and I shut it off.
That's how death works.
You know a lot better now. And you ruined the faith of a... You say that's how death works, Dan. How can you possibly know that? How can you possibly know that nothing exists after death? How is it possible to know that scientifically, Dan? Come on now. A lot of people. I bet you're really going to be in trouble when you stand for Judgment Day.
I bet he's not, because that doesn't exist. And you know why. Because you...
I love this. I mean, this is the closest to being outright pissed off that we have ever, I think, seen Dan. And I don't like the idea of him being, upset. But this is righteous indignation, and yet he's still keeping it reserved enough to be able to make a proper video. I just love it. The fact that you can tell internally he's kind of done being nice to this clown, even in these responses, but he's still keeping it professional. I threw out professionality years ago. Or maybe I'm just a crude kind of professional, like a lot of comedians out there. Robin Williams' work was pretty rough. But of course, growing up when I did, you thought of him as a genie from Aladdin and stuff. But Ken's not a comedian. He's not a professional. He's not anything, but he plays one on TV. I don't know. Lost my train of thought there. It derailed. And all the cabs smashed into DAL and ruined everything. Everyone survived, but DAL was ruined. Hamtrak.
You can't prove it, Kent.
And you can't prove there isn't something after life, and you can't prove matter can create itself from nothing, and you can't prove life can start from a puddle in the rocks.
No. You're right the first time. It is a great rant. Like a cheese grater.
And you can't prove any animals ever changed to a different kind of animal. Dan, wake up. Does your mama know you believe that dumb stuff? Did she ever?
Nah, that could turn into something big. I don't recommend anything that can even vaguely be interpreted as a threat remotely being said to Hovind or anything. My stance is if I for one know that if I do manage to get to the Ark Encounter protest, that Kent will be absolutely welcomed by me, and I will be as civil as I can be, if a bit crude, but otherwise very civil. And if something was to go down, I would work to get Kent to safety. One human to another. Take of that what you will. I definitely feel we should try to avoid anything of the sort that could make anyone actually think anything could go on. I just say it.
Spank you for... Never mind, okay.
Can you?
But
Wait, what do you say about spanking? What?
Dan, wake up. Does your mama know you believe that dumb stuff? Did she ever spank you for... Never mind, okay.
Can you?
But
Okay, Kent. Smash me harder, Sandra. Homer.
They make these claims. We are the product of a grand evolutionary sequence. You can't possibly know that. And we are related to a potato and a tomato and a
Soot, I still need verified information on that recording. I don't want to listen to it, but as a piece of academic research, I might just. I've studied a lot of weird shit, so that would still fall in line.
owl. This is not science. How can you guys not get it?
Cosmic evolution, that which we are only occasionally aware. One of the great accomplishments of Dr. Hawking is
We're occasionally aware of the great accomplishments of Dr. Hawking, the guy in the wheelchair who taught everybody that we came from a rock 4.5 billion years ago, which came from a dot of nothing exploding.
No, the guy in the wheelchair that had more intelligence in his little finger than you do in your entire body, Kent.
I bust out laughing at work at that one. It was too good. Kent's the one convicted of assault. This is true. And let us note that I would not be surprised if Kent or a crony were to overreact in some way to something. I don't think it would happen, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. Oh, and yes, thank you, Seth and Deviant, for your support of my statement. Not that our friend, the lovely Yar Victoria, is wrong per se in spirit, but it's just a matter of the way things can be interpreted in Minecraft.
Okay, well, Dan, I should be easy to debunk then. Call and schedule a debate, you coward.
Actually, you know what we should do? We should set up a Minecraft server and I'll rebuild Dinosaur Adventureland in Minecraft. That'd be such a waste of time, but man, it'd be funny.
I'll take on all of your followers at the same time. Joseph will monitor, or get somebody else to monitor. No interrupting, one topic at a time. Where did the matter and energy come from for your Big Bang? You want to start with that, don't you? Actually, you want to start with life already existing and then talk about evolution. Because you know I'm right. Evolution is a religion. You have to know that if you got a brain in your head. But you think Hawking had more intelligence in his little finger than I have in my whole body. I would have debated him anytime. I'm willing.
I would have paid to see that. Holy hell. Ken Hovind versus Stephen Hawking. Oh my god. That would have been incredible. Oh. Tubi, someone has to have an archive of that somewhere. Someone does. Somewhere. Somewhere. Come on, show that thing. There we go. All right, let's continue.
Willing to debate anybody you can find. Call them. I'm not afraid of them. And if I have a non-accredited degree from a non-accredited school, I should be easy picking.
Oh, you are. It's just your dumbass followers won't understand when you got your ass handed to you, and you refuse to acknowledge when you're wrong about anything.
Bring it on, Goliath. David's out here with his little sling ready to smack you in the forehead.
Yeah, you're really David. Yeah.
With my rocks.
You know the story about the dude who, spilled his seed on the ground and God was like, hell nah to that? Hovin's the wasted jizz. That's what you are, Kent. That's the Bible character you are. You should have stayed that way.
Okay. That's a great accomplishment.
to plug us better in to the knowledge of this long evolutionary sequence.
You want to get better knowledge of this long evolutionary sequence. Has it ever occurred to you, even once, to maybe even abandon that and look for a totally different reason for why the world's here?
That's what science is, Kent. It tries to disprove itself.
And that's what I'm trying to do with you, Dan. If you enjoy science, you should be willing to look at what you believe and question all of it. But you're not willing to question, are you? You're not willing to question evolution. Yeah, not willing.
Kiwi, yeah, so I heard. I'm not gonna lie, if I had to move anywhere in the southern hemisphere, it would be New Zealand, 100%. Not that there's too many choices in the southern hemisphere, but Australia, New Zealand, they're the places to be. I could do some spots in South America, maybe. South Africa would be a place, but nah, it's a little too crazy. But New Zealand would definitely, I think, fit in for me.
Not a scientist at all. You're a
And Deviant, yeah, you can do that if you can, and we will find a way to get the file to me for archival purposes, because it's got to be done.
pusher of your religion, okay? You're a spokesman for the evolution of religion. That's all you are.
And the longer that it can't, the more certain we are about something. But yeah.
Okay, show me why you're certain about elements coming from nothing and hydrogen making gold and silver and platinum. Show me how you're confident, why you're confident of that.
Notice he picks traditional precious metals on that. He didn't say anything about hydrogen forming uranium, molybdenum, xenon, argon, you know. Nope. Always those precious metals, because all Kent cares about is money.
Show me why you're confident of life coming from non-living material. They can't even do it in the laboratory. And if a bunch of scientists do...
Hey, Kent, you know all the food we eat is non-living. It's dead now. Also, depending on how you classify things, one can consider the sperm and egg to not be alive by definition. Like viruses aren't alive. So it depends on how you consider things. It's all just names and terms we put on something. Good God, look at how red Kent is compared to his hand. Holy fuck.
Do make life, that would only prove it takes intelligence to make life. Duh.
Yeah, so you admit the catch-22 in your own stupid hypothetical, thus proving how much of a dishonest prick you are. Very good, Kent.
Thank you, Dan. You make my Tuesday night show so easy. This is your easy target.
Yes, that's why you look like you're about to have an aneurysm.
Let's just abandon all that for something we find in a book.
Not just any book.
It is just any book.
That's a book written by eyewitnesses.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that holds up.
No, it's not, Kent. It's not written by eyewitnesses, you dumb fuck. Not a single goddamn person who wrote anything in the Bible was an eyewitness to jack diddly fucking shit. Fucking moron.
Good evidence in any trial in an honest court of law. You have to have...
Eyewitness testimony is actually one of the least credible forms of evidence due to the fallibility of the human memory. But you wouldn't understand anything about how trials actually work. I'm amazed you didn't represent yourself in all of yours.
Have a natural explanation. You're not going to allow God to get a divine foot in the door, are you? Yet. Your knee will bow. Okay.
What an incredibly compelling and interesting statement that was from Kent. Your knee will bow.
The Bible says every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. Dan, I will bet you.
And it also tells a story about someone who lusted after genitals that were like that of a donkey and stuff because she used to be a whore in Egypt or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. Lots of books say lots of things. Somewhere in the UK, there's a 9 3/4 platform thing. But I'm sure if I go walking into that brick wall, I'm not going to go to fucking Hogwarts. Not that I'd want to go. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to walk into a brick wall and look fucking stupid. But hey, I'd still look smarter than you because I'm not a young Earth creationist. I actually know what the fuck reality is.
$5, your knee will bow when you face God.
If I was to see God, I'd give him the finger and call him a fucking asshole. Just like I would love to do to you. But I'm a little nicer to you because you actually exist, and I wouldn't be rude enough to do that in person unless you gave me a reason. Please give me a reason, Kent. I would love to be interacting with you and have the wonderful atheist community film that moment. I'd make it the intro to every single one of my videos. Just because. because I don't care. I'm too old to give a shit at this stage. And I hopefully have a lot more years to not give a shit to go.
I'd like to see you bow it now and accept him as your savior. Some don't do that, but every knee is going to bow. All you atheists watching this show, you are going to bow before God. You're going to be really embarrassed for believing something so stupid.
Yeah, and you'll bow before Allah. There. How does that make you feel?
Really embarrassed. He's going to say, I sent Kent Hovind to tell you and warn you. Okay, I tried, Lord.
We could have tried someone who wasn't a dumbass. If you're a messenger for God, God's fucking pathetic.
I'm going to walk in with clean hands. Lord, I tried. These guys wouldn't listen. Okay, try.
We must all be submissive and worship. Sounds ridiculous, Kent, honestly.
No, it's not, Dan. It's wonderful to know the God of the universe that created everything and to worship him. And to know that since he created it, he owns it. And luckily for us, gave us a book of instructions of what he wants and told us how he did it. And he preserved that book all through history. Millions of people died so I can hold a copy of that book. I got one right here. I believe this is God's inspired, infallible, inerrant word. It is scientifically accurate in every detail. Prove me wrong.
There are many hypotheses in science which are wrong. That's perfectly all right. It's the aperture to finding out what's right. Science is a self-correcting process.
Oh man, Otaku, that sucks. Discord, let me know the particular variant of colorblindness you have, and maybe I can do some edits to the image to show you the relative contrast. I don't know, but I think that'd be an interesting experiment.
Well, good. Then I would like to help all you evolutionists. I want to help correct you. You're following a completely wrong trail. Evolution is the dumbest religion and nothing but a religion. Dumbest religion in the history of mankind. Prove me wrong.
But Kent, doesn't it tell you something that if science is a self-correcting process and it hasn't self-corrected evolution for over 150 years?
Seth, that sounds like a good reality check when we get back to doing that.
Then that means that we're probably correct about it.
It does not mean any such thing, Dan. People can be incorrect on things for centuries. How many things in the last 4,000 years have people been incorrect on and had to be corrected? Even you believe Darwin came along and corrected everybody was wrong for 6,000 years of human history and came up with a new theory. Okay, yes, science should be self-correcting. And I'm trying to correct it. I'm here to help, Dan. Okay, that's long enough. Just a few more minutes of the show anyway, but Dan, call.
Well, I mean, we still got like 8 minutes to go. That didn't get near as unhinged as I thought it would. You guys kind of oversold this one. And aside from his face being red as hell, you just, Billy, I still need the next 7 things that make Hovind terrible. And yeah, it's definitely time for another Hovind file. You got to get under his skin. I think we've been laying low a little too long in some cases.
Call in. We have question and answer time right now. If you're watching, Dan, I'm probably late over there where you are in England. What are you, 7-8 hours ahead of us? But call in anytime. Schedule it.
You're in Central Time like me, Kent. So he would be. I'm not sure if the UK does. I know they do a daylight savings time thing, kind of like us. So we may still be an equivalent 6 hours. But if time is correct as it should be, Greenwich Mean Time is 6 hours ahead of Central. Right now, it's daylight time, so it's 5 hours from Greenwich Mean Time. But I don't know what the actual British Standard Time is, what have you. I think that's the time zone is BST. That's neither here nor there, though. Either way, it's a little early in the day. And while I have seen Dan active pretty damn late at night, he also has a life, unlike you.
I'll get up at 3
And a wife, unlike you.
in the morning to debate you on your time schedule. Would you do that, Joseph? Okay. All you guys, if you're over there in England, not to be, look, I'm trying to help. I really am. I'm not your enemy. This is a serious topic. If you're wrong, to give you Pascal's wager here, you've lost a lot. You're going to go to hell. If I'm wrong, I haven't lost a thing.
Maria, do you have a digital copy of that you could put somewhere? Because I think it would be a fascinating read and would be nice to add to the public zeitgeist of our communities. Um, Combined personal knowledge and personal take on things. If you feel like it. If not, that's cool too.
Thing. If, like Dan says, you go to the grave and it's over with, I've had a wonderful life here. I enjoyed myself. I've had a wonderful time. So if I die and go to the grave, oh well. I win either way.
Zoomy Tomato. Oh, as we interrupt Kent doing Pascal's wager. Good for you, Kent. You're dumb. And you talked to AJ after this, and he still explained Pascal's wager doesn't work. Lovely Zoomy. Prove the Bible isn't scientifically accurate? Easy. The Bible says bats are birds and that pi equals 3. There, just 2 things that prove it wrong. And of course, as Kent said earlier, all you need is 1 thing to prove it wrong and the whole thing falls out, so the Bible's wrong. Evidence of man to tomato evolution observed. Yep, that would be me. Caruso tomato. And that beavers are fish. Yeah, beavers are fish. That's fucking hilarious. Can't remember what kind of colorblind you are. Just know, even in person, I can't tell when someone is red unless it's really severe, which is bad because I can't see red spots on myself either. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Deviant to Billy. Singing something, re-uploads your old videos. Good if you added text informing the viewer when they were made. Yeah, saw it. I noticed that in the latest too. So yeah, some people would know that they're dated. But I mean, that's going to take some time for him to go through. We're mentioning Chris Jones and the kid who shall remain nameless. No one still knows what happened to the child if he's okay. It's no longer the case. Yeah, there's a few things that are outdated, of course. It's going to happen when you upload old videos. And Billy's response is, got into the description deviant, try to pin some text on the screen at the very beginning. I find pinned comments for errata can sometimes do pretty well because some people don't always check descriptions. I wish YouTube hadn't removed the annotation feature like they did. Or it doesn't work on mobile, then make it work on mobile. They act like they just magically can't make it display. Because that allowed you to fix that stuff real easy. Dissertation is 360 pages long with references. Can look for a copy. One of this paper, just have hard copies. I'm old. No, I honestly expected as much to just have hard copies. And I certainly don't expect you to go through scanning the whole thing, although I do feel it should be digitally archived. It's something you created that is of value. It was a proper dissertation that was challenged, that was accepted. That should be known. To me. Again, depending on how you want to do things. So I'm not saying, you need to sit there and have it all scanned and stuff or do the scanning, but it would be cool to have available. Hey, Jess. Coming in at the tail end, but always happy to see you. Favorite peoples in the chat. Let's keep going with Mr. Smug here. As Dan's just looking like, really? Hovind again?
You lose big time one way. Pascal's wager. Okay. Any questions or
Pascal's wager sucks.
comments here, brother? Did I stir them up? A little bit. Can't read the. Okay. I've been a fan of Kent since I was a kid. I'm 33. I used to make my school science teachers mad, repeating the truth I learned from you.
Truth learned. No, you were just a disruptive idiot, Jeffrey Charles Sinclair. Dumbass.
I'd like to say thank you from me and mine here in Maine. Well, thank you. A lot of people tell me that their kids love my videos and help frustrate their teachers in school. And
Kids love your videos. They must be some really boring kids. You're unwatchable, Kent. It is torture to sit through your videos. And I'm sure some would say it's torture to sit through mine, but I don't know. I have this lovely community who comes in live. And my stream gets better the more of them that are watching. Because I know, hey, my friends are here. I don't have to try as hard. And I can relax and enjoy. I don't know where I was going with that, because it's not like you don't have live viewers. You do, obviously. But, yeah, it was about unwatchableness. I don't think too many people hate watch me. Sure hate watch you.
They should. We got to push
What's the point? I don't know. But hey, I ended the monologue.
back. Teachers are teaching something they've been taught, they've been brainwashed, and they're passing it on. Some of the students in Germany should have stood up and said to Hitler's teachers, said, look, I'm sorry, this ain't right. Okay? People in North Korea should
Yes, paywall.
stand up against their teachers and say, look, I'm sorry, communism doesn't work. Take a look, we're all starving here. Of course,
Yeah, and then see what happens because it's a totalitarian hellhole. You know, Kent, if they were capitalist but still had the same kinds of economic problems and the same kind of authoritarian hell, and they were to stand up and say capitalism doesn't work, their reaction would be the same because the problem is the authoritarianism and not whether it's a communist, socialist, juche, whatever structure. Which, by the way, North Korea, while it can be functionally described as communist, is technically not communist. But you wouldn't understand subtlety, and you certainly wouldn't understand anything about the DPRK. Then again, why would you? If you did, you'd know that you should worship Kim Il-sung, and not this Jesus guy. Because one thing, Kim Il-sung was real. Another thing, the day he was born is the same day Titanic sank. Coincidence? I think not. What's your three best evidences that Kim Il-sung isn't divine? Go on. Prove it, Kent. I'm waiting.
they'd lose their job, wouldn't they? Yeah. Or their life. What happened to you? What happened when you offered to debate Neil Tyson? Sometimes I think he's a closet believer because Neil often says he doesn't know the answer to science questions. I don't know. Call him and tell him. I'll debate him anytime. Neil, I'm not afraid of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, very good point from Zumi. Communism requires no rulers because everyone is equal in a communist state. That's why,
Or anybody else.
that's why even the Soviet Union was a relatively failed experiment in communism. It's like structurally as a communist state. Still have a soft spot for it, but Soviet Union was a fucking mess.
Okay, now I can see it. Difference between micro and macro evolution.
Hey, Stephen Arcambo, number 5. There is no difference.
Well, Stephen, microevolution I think it's a lousy term. We shouldn't use that, but they do. What it means is there's variations within the kind. There's lots of different kinds of dogs. There's lots of different kinds of horses. There's lots of different kinds of lots of things.
Variations within the kind, more like variations within the rind. You seen them watermelons lately? Variations of them rinds.
There's 4 different kinds of elephants, 2 still around. Mammoth and mastodon appear to be extinct. So there's lots of different kinds of sharks. I think there are, 100 varieties of squirrels. That's a variation of the same kind. The Bible says they will bring forth after their kind. That is observable. No.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone say hi to Allie. They made it back before the stream ended. Their meeting ended early. Very good. Yeah, they structured as a communist state, but never took the final step towards communism. Instead, lived in an authoritarian state where the state was their religion. Yep, that is the Soviet Union in a nutshell. Marx would not have been pleased.
Nobody's observed any animal produce a baby.
Although I feel Lenin wanted to push towards the lack of leaders, but of course you need someone to get the things established and running. But at a point, you let go of the bicycle. You let the kid on the bicycle, the state, go on and do its thing with the people in charge.
That anybody with a
Just no one wanted to let go. And then Gorbachev did his stuff, and actually I like Gorbachev, but still.
brain would think is a totally new kind. Now you're going to say, that's because it happened so slowly over millions of generations. That's my point. You can't see it. It's not science.
Except you can, but you hand wave away everything. We've been over this. Yawn.
It's science to say things vary within limits. All the variations we see have limits. You guys won't admit that. The world record now for a cow producing milk, 280 pounds a day.
All the hovens we see have limits.
Why don't they get one to produce 4 trillion tons a day? If there's no limit. Huh?
So explained to you numerous times, and even AJ said it in your call the previous night or a couple of days from this, that it's physical limits. There are raw, practical limits, but these are not genetic limits.
That would be utterly insane. So there are limits. You guys just don't get it. There are variations within limits. Humans can run pretty fast. What's the world record for the mile? Less than a 4-minute mile. Why don't they run it in 2 seconds? Huh? Jet planes can do it. Let's get a human to do it. There's a limit how fast people can run, isn't there? Yeah. There's a limit how far dogs can evolve.
Jet planes can do it. Well, jets can go fast. Why can't people? What, Kent? Do you ever think about what you say?
That's why it's called
No, you never do.
microevolution. It's a variation within the same kind. You guys want to imagine that can carry over to cause totally new kinds. These crazy charts that you guys make, put in our school textbook, and say, oh, boys and girls, look at this. The humans are related to the ducks. Right there. Got a common ancestor. Yeah, and the sunflower. Don't forget, you're related to a sunflower. And grass. Don't mow your grass. You're cutting off Grandpa's head. Don't do that. Yeah. Those are morons to believe that chart. It's a propaganda poster is all it is. I think Dan's envies Kent because he knows he will never believe and have faith in something so strong to speak with the heart. I don't know.
I'm sorry, but that's just ridiculous. You're not going to like it as much, so you envy Hovind secretly. It's like, guys, y'all are compensating way too hard. It isn't that deep. We don't believe this stuff. That simple. Some of us don't believe most of this stuff, I should say, because there's plenty in my audience who are faithful in one degree, but know that your young earth insanity is right out the window. Or even, the rare case, I think there are quite a few young earthers, not necessarily who would watch our content, but there certainly are those who think that you're just plain crazy. That's pretty impressive when you're alienating your own kind. But what else do we expect from someone who's had 4 women leave him? At least that have decided to be married to him.
This probably envies me because I have a calm and this is all sticking up all the time. I got extra calm down. I'll send you one. Recovering atheist here. I can say even the diehard atheists every once in a while, they think, what if I'm wrong?
Not in the way you're trying to imply it. At best, it's just a matter of, what would happen? What if I was wrong about this? What if I was wrong about that as a hypothetical? Not in the way you're implying.
Good. They are wrong. And wrong is misspelled there, but you will fix that later. Okay. All right. If brains were leather, Dan couldn't saddle a flea. Wow. Matthew, supporter of Kent, question. Some people on social media are teaching that true Christians never sin again. I'd like to meet one of those. Whoever's saying that's a liar, so there's a sin right there, okay? If you sin, you were never saved to begin with. That is insane. God is not willing that any should perish. He wants everybody saved. In 1 John, read the whole book of 1 John. It talks about that topic. See, when we become a child of God, we're still sinners. We're still living in this flesh and in this world, but it's handled differently now. If you're a kid and my kid...
Yep, the God kicked off evolution concept is incredibly standard at this point, and, I think I've said before, I can jive with that. Don't believe in the deity. But, okay. That's how you think things would have flowed? Cool. All right. I'm all for it. Because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme. It doesn't change reality to any degree. It may not be provable one way or the other, but I'm not splitting hairs here, so I'll go for it. When you got someone like Kent who wants to say all of reality, all of science is wrong, well, then we have a problem. Hi, Dino Lamp. How you doing? Good to see you. Blink twice if you need assistance.
They're playing baseball in the yard, and I say, hey, boys, don't play here. You're going to break the window. And sure enough, they break a window. If my kid did it, it's a family matter. We're going to take it out of his allowance or give him a spanking or whatever is necessary. But if your kid did it, it might be a legal matter. If you're not one of God's children and you sin, it's going to be handled legally. God's going to be the judge.
This is true. It was all focused on Joe. That was pretty hilarious. I guess Joe's that important now. I'm down for it. Hovind thinks he's that important. of that level. I mean, I'm not saying Joe is not important. Of course is. But again, thinking that Joe at TKA represents American atheists in general. Impressive. Joe got a promotion and he didn't even know it.
If you're one of God's children, it's going to be handled in the family. He might spank you, take away your rewards, take away, punish you. Might,
Spank me harder, Jehovah Senpai, uwu.
First Corinthians 5:5 or First Corinthians 5.
And now when Rosina watches this, she's going to do a crazy AI rendering of Jehovah spanking somebody. Seriously, if you're not in my Discord and looking at the Unhinged channel, what is wrong with you?
The man was living in adultery with his mother. Paul said, turn him over to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved. If you could lose your salvation, everybody would lose it every day. Every day. They would. Find somebody that says they've never sinned. Smack them in the head real hard. Watch how they'll get angry.
I've never sinned, because sin isn't a thing. Done.
It's a sin. You just lost your salvation. Haha. You can't lose it. How does a plant know how to make its color? Good point.
Wow, it's emergent from the chemical processes that the plant what it is, you moron. Thinking everything has sentience.
How does the plant know which way is the sun? Who designed this, phototrophism and photophilic and all that stuff? I think it maybe is designed.
Or it's an emergent property of life that developed in a way to, begin to gather energy from photons. Seems pretty straightforward. Seems like that would be selected for in the environment. But what do I know? I'm just some dumbass atheist who loves science.
Dan called in yet? No. Oh, Dan.
Oh, what a surprise. Dan isn't going to make an international fucking call. Oh, wait, it's not a real phone thing. It's, a web thing through Restream that you didn't even post the link to. It might have been posted in the side chat, but probably not. And even if it was, like, he's seriously watching and seriously going to click and be like, alrighty then. Yeah. Dumbass.
Okay.
And there we go with the chicken. Hey, Kent, have you called into my shows yet? Huh? Have you? Are you going to call in? Huh? You going to call in? 855 Big Dildo, extension 666. If I had the money, I'd order that fucking number. I'm not even kidding. In fact, I think I'm going to look after this and see if the number exists and see what effort I have to go through to set it up, because I might just make that expense. I had to buy new jeans today. They ain't cheap, but hey, my old ones were tearing up because for some reason I rip every pair of jeans I got. And there was already a hole wearing in the knee, so Because unlike Kent, I work hard. We work hard, we play hard. Simpsons reference. Anyway, I'm just rambling. But yeah, I might actually look into that and see. That would be very interesting.
Tomorrow night, Whack an Atheist again. I might just find another one to dance. His are so fun and so easy, and I got so much to do tomorrow, other stuff.
All he does is talk about R and Raw and Dan. I mean, they're great people, but Hovind doesn't seem to understand that.
Come visit our Dinosaur Adventureland, Dan. It's really fun. We'll give you a tour. You could try our zip line. Yeah, 300 feet. Neil, pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, I was first, wasn't I? Yeah. 72 years old. If I'm going to put it up, I'm going to test it and see if it'll work. And it worked. And the same with the leap of faith. After I built the swing, the steps up there, it's okay. I built it. I'm going to do it first. It'll work. Okay. It's fun. It's fun being a child of God. I love it. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye.
For those curious, I ascribe to a once saved, always saved, but even more so, I would actually ascribe to a concept of accepting the proposition if in a situation where your hypothetical is that it's true would qualify. And that's something I want to ask Kent about. In that, in my personal thoughts, while I most certainly have zero belief in any theology, if Christianity was true, naturally I would accept the Jesus construct, whatever requirements are seen. I feel I would be obligated to. To that extent, I believe that acknowledging that acts as an acceptance, even if one doesn't believe it. Flat earthers don't believe in gravity, but they're using it all the damn time. That doesn't make it not exist. So in the event magically wrong about all this crap and somehow people like Hovind are correct, if that meets the criteria, then it's good. So I'm actually not even worried. Like on the Pascal's wager concept, I'm not even worried because at this stage, I fully acknowledge that, logically that should hold sound. And I want to, if I call Hovind or something, I would almost want to ask him about that just to see what he'd say, because he's probably never been challenged with that kind of thought before. I don't actively believe, but if it was true, I'd accept this because I'd be obligated to. How would he say? And am I going to debate Hovind? When Hovind agrees to my terms, all he has to do is call me. We just get in touch, him and his crew. I've been waiting. In fact, let me go to com/debateme.php. Yeah. Let me just toggle a few things here. Do that. Do this. There you go. Time since Hovind told Sergio to contact me to schedule a debate. 2024-8-8. 0 years, 9 months, 6 days, 18 hours, 6 minutes, and 12 seconds. Just based on T0. A little PHP script that gives that. So it's been 9 months since Hovind told Sergio to get in touch with me to schedule a debate. So, I'm waiting. Waiting. Otaku, the answer is, I don't know. Roscoe here runs this stream. In this house, we obey the rules of physics. In this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics. Thinking of stuff, I'd do a theological debate with Kent. Yeah, a theological debate with Kent would be very interesting. Laws of thermodynamics, unless it wasn't a Simpsons reference. I'm just associating everything with Simpsons like I always do. Joe Cool, in my understanding, yeah. Like, I fully accept a once saved, always saved construct. But honestly, I actually accept if you've heard of this and at all think to yourself, yeah, that's neat. That's cool. If for a single instant you were to think, oh, hey, this is true, then you're good. Even in its own continuity. Hence my hypothetical earlier that while I don't actively believe in any of this stuff, were it to be true, I know I would accept it as true. Ergo, my intention is not to reject. So I'm good. Way too long since I watched any Simpsons. Man, we got satellite TV at work, and so I've been catching up newer episodes when I can, between breaks and after my shift when I'm just relaxing before I leave. Some of the newer episodes are pretty damn nice, and others are just atrocious. It's really hit and miss. I hate the modernity of it, though. That's one thing about The Simpsons. It's a comfort show, is that when you go back, you hit older stuff. It's a product of the 90s and such. So you get better. It's more comfort. And the fact that, I'm familiar with old episodes. It sticks out to me because I'm surprised Homer knows the word thermodynamics. Yeah. Homer's random intelligence spurts are great. Pascal's wager doesn't work because of the amount of religions there are in the world. Yep, it immediately breaks down. As many have said, everyone is atheist about other religions. It's just a straight up atheist goes one religion more than the average person. Something to that effect. I said it terribly, but Well, anyway, that was a stream. I was expecting more from Hovind. Seeing him get beat red was very interesting. A little disappointed this didn't go as extreme as I thought, but hey, it is what it is. That's about all I have. We covered the clown who commented a couple of days ago. I updated y'all on what's going on with the copyright dispute. I'm gonna catch up on some Guild Wars because I went to sleep early last night, and then probably get myself situated and go to sleep early again tonight because I'm fucking tired. I am exhausted this week. I think I'm coming down with something, but I'm not sure. What I am sure about is that Hovind is still a clod. I refuse to believe I'm still saved after suggesting a Christian was bending the knee to orally gratify Jesus. Nah. because you're supposed to be forgiven, so you're forgiven for that. If you're not, then it's conditional. Shop Factor actually made those Alf Pogs to promote the Alf DVD set. Nice. No, I expected something from Hoven's stream that obviously wasn't what I was to actually get, as presented by our lovely duo in Sweden of Soot Kettle and Deviant Outcast. That's where the problem was. I'm not faulting them. My expectations were too high. It was still interesting to watch Hoven get that upset. Remember collecting Pogs as a kid, entire Star Trek DS9 Pog set? Neat. Yeah, Pogs were awesome. But all right, I could sit here all day and talk about the 90s. Yep, catch you next time, Maria. Thanks for telling me to get some rest. I don't know how. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, thanks for, being supportive of me resting. I don't know. You know what I mean, though? Yeah, definitely we'll be around, my friends. Using the Church of Satan Twitter account liked my tweet saying the guy was blowing Jesus. That made me laugh. Hell yeah. Literally, hell yeah. I mean, if God is so offended by us saying that kind of shit, then what kind of God is he? Seriously. He doesn't fucking care. But all right, as always, much love, everyone. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for a very fun stream. I'm going to end the stream, click the magic toggles that make me start earning shekels from this. And then, yeah, going to hit up some Guild Wars and all that jazz. Catch you later.